Welcome back. Now I have here the test unit, which is completely disassembled. Here is my unit that is expecting its second revision. Something wrong inside, and I will see about that later. Now I'm showing you how to put everything back together. So we'll start with the last piece where the reservoirs are, and we'll fit inside the output connectors. And we'll take care to secure them. I suggest that you will use also on the thread a little thread locker in order to fix this bolt in position, and also to seal better. Okay. Now we are going to put the top back. The gasket is okay. And this one too. Don't forget the metal strip. Also, for these bolts, it's a good idea to just use a drop of thread locker. Now we'll pass to this part. We take this part and put back the relief pressure unit. This will come here. Also, they have a sealing ring here, which usually will seal without a problem, so this is not a problem to be taken care of. And even if you do need, you can use a little silicone like this for putting around the neck here, and it will ensure a good filling. It also remains elastic after they are in place. So you'll use the 27 tubular key to put them tight, but do not use too much force. We'll put these rubber rings, which are for protection, back, and now we'll pass to the inlet connectors for the command circuits. They also have two rings here because they will be used only when taken out, so there are no moving parts involved. The sealing will be not affected, so you can use the same. Just put them back. And use the 15 keys to put them in position. Because now there is a problem about using for the complete rotation with the fixed key. You could use also a locking plier to continue rotating until in place. Okay. Now, we will put this aside and come back to this is the reservoirs. It's time to put the motors back, so take care to have the rings in place. As I told you, they must be, the surface of the rings must be filled upwards, and they will seal on the ceramic plate of the pump. Now for the placement, you'll put them in such position that the connectors for the motors are to the bottom of the unit side by side. In this position, you will rotate a little, exactly like you took them out, until they will go into place. Rotate a little just to put them in direction of the holes, and use the bolts, the replacement bolts, to fix them in position. Okay, now we are going to put back these two O-rings inside here. They will be used as a sealing parts here. Be aware that for this specific unit, these two O-rings are identical. So the inside diameter of the O-ring, which is the outside diameter of the pistons, are exactly the same. On my unit, which is a little different, these two pistons are different in sizes, so on that unit you have to take care of not mixing out the two O-rings, so they will be put exactly in the same position. These are very hard to find pieces, so take care not to affect them in any way when you disassemble the unit, and also when assembling it. Now, you need to put these rings inside with the base, which is a little larger. I don't know if you see it, like this. This is the base. The base must be towards the inside. So the axle of the piston will go easily through. I'm going to place this inside now. Okay. You'll see that it will fit well against the base, and the other one too. Okay, now they are correctly fitted inside. Then this unit, about this gasket here, it's very important to seal correctly this area here. So I will use a little silicone. This is what I found in Home Depot, but you can find it also elsewhere. And you should apply a little to the inside, only to the inside, nothing to the outside. Okay, like this. So you use a very small quantity, just enough to seal this gasket. And now you'll put it right here in position. And you take care that there is no spilling to the outside of the gasket, because it's very dangerous to harden itself inside the unit. This can turn into debris that could go into the small channels inside the unit and block them. Okay, so now the gasket is in order. And it's the time to put these two pieces together. So in order to do this, we put the motors upwards, and we'll mount the rings on top of the motors. Okay. We'll check to be properly fitted here. Also, if we change the O-rings from here, we'll take care that they are in place and in perfect condition. Again, the gasket. The cable here we put through the unit, and then very carefully we'll go until it fits into the right position. We'll center the unit looking at this frame. The motors must come very centered to these holes in the frame, and then we press a little, just a little from each side, and at a specific time we'll feel that it will go inside. There is still a gap here, but that is not a problem. it will be closed when we'll put the next piece, which is this one. At this point, we'll check the gasket here around and see if it is in perfect condition. If it is not, it could be damaged. You can also use some silicone, but the same rule applies. Just a little bit to the outside. Never let the silicone go to the inside. So do not use in excess. At this point also we'll put the two metal pipes that will go through the unit. There are two holes inside in which we just place them. They are identical. And now it's ready for putting back together. Very gently put the top on and fill into the position. Now we'll put these bolts, and before we put them in, it's a very good idea to use some thread locker, just a little drop on the top of the thread here on each bolt. I will not put, because this is just a demonstration unit, so it will be disassembled later, so I do not need to use right now. And then with the torque bit, we'll go from inside the bolt in the middle. Do not tight all the way, just go through all the bolts here, and while I'll do the tightening, you will see how the gap here reduces little by little. Okay, now it's secured. We'll, when it's a final assembling, we'll just take care that it will be just a little force, not too much. So you see that the gap disappears, so the two pieces are well mounted together. The last thing is the computer side, this one. So we'll place it just near the unit, and we'll start by putting back the solenoid wires. So there are two exactly on each side. Be very careful when you put them in order to see exactly that they will go on the rightful connector. If they go in too easy, it's a good idea to press a little the contact. In order to make a good contact when you slide the connector. Okay, now the other one. Okay, we'll check both to be in position. Now we'll do the motor connectors. So they are keyed. You can miss them. So you'll see on the motor here, the key is downwards. We'll put it back, and here it's upwards. Okay. Now all the wires are connected, and the last will be the sensors. And also, even if you do not know which cable to which connector goes, it's easy because they are keyed. You cannot put them in the wrong position unless you use too much force and destroy the connector. So the white will go on the side, and you'll feel it like you put it in. It will just slide in perfectly. The same with the black one on the left. So they're in position, and now all the connecting is done. Also, we'll inspect the gasket around to be in perfect condition. Here it's more like not coming inside dust or anything else, rather than a very important sealing. So we'll take care that when we close the cap, we do not catch any wires against the piece here. So every wires are to the base. Now I put it here, and we'll use the screws, of course the new screws, because the original must be replaced. And we are going to close this unit. Of course, also to this bolt, I advise you to use a drop of thread locker. Okay, when you tie them up, you will see the right force that you'll need to use. So this is the unit back into one piece. I hope you appreciated the work, and I also hope that when you put this back on the motorcycle, it will work. I wish the best with it. The unit from the K1200 LT, the unit from R1200 CL. This is mounted vertically like this. This is mounted horizontally like this. I hope it will work after you put it back, and I wish you all the best.